Hi, I'm Thomas Roney. I'm president of Thomas Roney LLC, an economic consulting firm. I think a necessary attribute of any forensic economist especially is a very active curiosity. And the reason is much of this work is very similar. If you do 20 injured truck driver cases in a year, okay, it's very easy to get into, they make this much money, they're this age, they're going to work this long. You multiply a few things, this is their damages. Get another case, oh, another truck driver case, they make this much money, they work this long, and here's their damages. Oh, another one, etc. That can get very boring. If you're curious, we can dig down a little deeper into truck driver 1 and how he's a little bit different than truck driver 2 and how that truck driver is a little different than truck driver 3. They're different ages, they have different experience levels. Does that matter? In some occupations it matters a lot because there's what economists call an age earnings profile. For most jobs, you start out low, you gain experience, your income rises, and then it tails off toward the end. What that exact shape of that profile is has a big impact on what the damages would be. Truck driving, it increases fairly rapidly at the beginning. It levels off though. It doesn't have a high peak to it. It levels off and then stays there for a long time, but it doesn't tail off very much at the end either. Workers in that particular industry, on average, are going to have incomes that are fairly consistent. If a shortage of truck drivers, as was recently experienced in the last few years, occur, their wages are going to get bid up. That will attract more truck drivers in there. So there's kind of an upper bound on how high wages could go, but there's a lower bound on how much they can fall to. So in a layman's terms, it's a good steady job at a not real high wage, but not so low either. If you're curious and you get into what are the costs that affect truck drivers, the supply of truck drivers, the demand for truck drivers, and get comfortable in how that market for that labor interacts with the rest of the economy, I think that makes the cases less dull to work on, and it also makes the work better because you have an answer. Well, why didn't you decrease his wages after he turned 60? And you can show data that shows that their wages really don't go down much after age 60 due to this age earnings profile. The other part about the curiosity is it just opens you to, are you curious enough to open the latest economics journal and read the latest study on the work life for women? Are you interested and motivated enough and curious enough to read the latest study on personal consumption out of income, or the latest tax journal on how to appropriately tax awards given in employment matters? All these are issues that are going to come up every day, and without the curiosity to motivate you to try to keep up with new information and try to keep each case specific for that client so that you don't get bored silly working on multiple cases over time. That's why I think it's not only a good thing for the firm to have curious people, but it's necessary.